Greetings, my dear beloved children. Today we will discuss an issue that is rather painful for many of you, and I would like you to read this message with open heart and pure soul, fully accepting the idea of every living being on earth having a right to live. We are going to speak about those who suddenly realize that there are reptiloids among their family and friends. It can be really painful for those who realize that their wife, husband, or child belongs to this category. And there are many people like this among you because it is you, ancient, pure, and lofty souls, who they have got attracted to. I dictated my previous messages not to frighten you or cause your feeling hostile towards reptiloids, but to let you know the actual state of things on Earth and to help you learn to behave the right way. First of all, I would like to mention that high caste reptiloids are almost impossible to come across in usual life as they keep aloof. Reptiloids that are likely to be in your environment are the so-called rank and file ones who are victims themselves because their conscience is supervised from above and they act in accordance with certain programs of the corresponding level. As a rule, in everyday life, they are decent, law-abiding, and loving their family, people, by extremely practical and unreceptive to any spiritual knowledge, and they are sure to choose you for a partner, not by chance. Following the program implanted into their conscience, they have to bring you back to earth all the time, which they have been doing during all your life together, trying to limit your thoughts and actions to material-dominated, practical sphere. But try considering it from another angle, how strong, brave, wise, and loving your souls should be so as to make that difficult choice, life with a reptiloid. Not everyone is able to overcome such an obstacle towards light, but those reading the message have managed to do it. And now, when you know how complicated the world is and how densely populated every single niche is, you shouldn't become embittered to your partner, starting blaming them of the things they are innocent of. Just the opposite. You should feel sympathetic, keeping in mind that a man can do no more than he can, and that their conscience doesn't belong to them. On the other hand, you can't let a reptiloid control your conscience either. You should stick to the path your soul has chosen, securing it against being enslaved by whoever it may be. So, if both of you are happy with your life together, you should just keep your family hearth, carefully avoiding rough edges or discussing contradicting issues. In other words, you will have to go underground, not giving reptiloids complete control over your inner world and not letting them criticize the things that are sacred for you, and let your reptiloid husband or wife go on dealing with the practical issues of the family, which is familiar and usual for them. While you should feel grateful that due to them you can manage your time in favor of your spiritual life, try to find the proper balance in your relations and create the atmosphere where each member could indulge in their hobbies, respecting other members' interests at the same time. I hope, my dear ones, for your wisdom, patience, and love that will enable you to find the best way out of any situation to the highest good of all. Today, we will discuss how reptiloids influence those having beside the divine soul a fragment of a reptiloid soul. As I have already mentioned in one of my previous messages, these people are numerous on Earth as they were born in mixed marriages of reptiloids and humans. These humans are a lot of trouble for reptiloids because their programs can't totally control them. A human soul that is fated to neighbor on a reptiloid soul stands up to this in any possible way. Therefore, reptiloids do their best to put such people in the material-dominated environment where, in order to survive, they will have to make use of their practical skills, which their reptiloid part is good at. And in this struggle for survival, humans have neither time nor strength for the spiritual development, self-knowledge, or creative potential realization. Alternatively, they can choose another tool and help them to become rich, and then enjoying every conceivable pleasure, they forget about their divine soul. How can reptiloids accomplish this task? For this purpose, they draw in pure-blooded reptiloids who, by means of programs they are connected to, start guiding these humans, keeping an eye on them. They can even become their spouse to influence them to a full extent. Reptiloids try to worm into their confidence and to make friends with them so as to know everything about their life, dreams, and wishes, and to adjust them in their own way. They can also be bosses, colleagues, neighbors, or simply chance fellow travelers in some period of life. Anyway, they will try to impose their views and values on humans, criticizing and scoffing at anything out of practical application and material-dominated life scope. They are the people who bring humans back to Earth and clip their wings to make them pass in a crowd instead of perceiving oneself as a unique, self-sufficient person resembling nobody else. I am sure that many of you have come across situations like this a lot of times. Believe my word, in most cases, they were the reptiloids on the watch of human souls, preventing them from restoring their divinity. How can you, my dear ones, oppose this kind of influence? I think it will not be very difficult to do this. because you have learned to perceive other people's vibrations, which means you will not let anyone draw you into talks that are known to be idle and useless for you, and will not let anyone impose an alien lifestyle on you. Still, I would like to give you some advice. With such people, behave in a polite, careful way, peacefully avoiding the talk you are not interested in, especially if you know who you are dealing with. Astral beings, sweet of a reptiloid, are looking forward to your generating into the world at least one negative emotion in a weak moment. Then they will try to blow this sparkle into a fire, and your argument will grow into a real energy battle that is hard for you to win. Keep your energy space pure, my dear ones. Nowadays, it is important as ever. We will discuss the energy design of reptiloids and their main difference from humans. They possess quite a different chakra system, a curtailed one. Their subtle sense organs are limited to the 4 lower chakras. The 4th chakra is the limit a pure-blooded reptiloid can't go beyond while perceiving the world around them. Still, it differs greatly from the heart chakra of a human being, and there are some reasons for that. While human beings have this chakra connected with the higher divine aspects, the 3rd eye chakra and the crown 1, due to which they are capable of unconditional, uninterested love, reptiloids, love features, acquisition, and profit. All their thoughts and emotions can't go beyond the bounds of the program they are connected to. That is practical approach even to notions such as love. This is why a clan structure is so typical of pure-blooded reptiloids, as well as dividing everybody into ins and outs. They can love only those they are connected with in terms of energy at the subtle level. Yet this love also differs greatly from love of humans. Their love is that of an owner based on total submission of their beloved and control over them. They can love humans as long as the latter are of any practical interest to them. They treat humans in a condescending and even contemptuous manner because of their unpractical behavior and regard it as foolishness. At the same time, they shamelessly exploit this foolishness of pure human souls. In terms of energy, reptiloid-human interaction looks like this. A human being acts as an energy donor as they voluntary give reptiloids energy at the subtle level and fruit of their labor at the physical level. Reptiloids take all these gifts for granted, not even sending the energy of gratitude back. In other words, they behave the way a master does towards their servants. This is exactly the human interaction pattern that was initially specified by their program. Humans, on the contrary, initially had the divine program of unconditional love. So, a pure human soul, and especially the one that has overgrown the 3D world limits and raised its conscience up till the fourth and even fifth dimension, lives according to the divine laws, generously sharing with everybody around their knowledge, energy, and love. And reptiloids shamelessly take advantage of these humans' generosity and often misappropriate their knowledge, achievements, and discoveries, thinking they don't even have to thank them in word and deed. It has been like this throughout the history of reptiloids and humans living side by side on Earth. But now the situation has reached its climax, and humans should eventually learn the actual state of things and realize that there are some other creatures neighboring them whose non-divine origin doesn't allow them to live according to the universal laws. Yet, humans shouldn't get embittered with reptiloids or revengeful on them, generating this way the energy they feed on. You should learn to find a compromise dealing with them, and, which is most important, to protect yourselves from these creatures, preventing them from devastating you, both physically and in terms of energy. Here we will stop for today, loving you endlessly, Father.